All right, and we're live.
All right, all right. Well, welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I'm Chase,
And I'm Dylan.
and I guess let's just get right into it with some Suicide Squad. Give our full spoiler review. Do you want to give any spoiler free, or just go all spoilers?
Just go all spoilers. For me, it's hard to discuss a
Okay.
movie without talking about spoilers.
Yeah, definitely this one. Do you want to get started? Give your quick thoughts on what you thought and everything.
With my part of the review, I'm not gonna go into deep. I'm not gonna go deep into any like deep plot points or anything. I'm not gonna completely break down the movie because I feel like that would just take too long. So I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
through basically explain like who my favorite characters were, like what I thought some of the good moments and some of the like not bad or some of the not good moments were for the movie. Like, because as some of you who saw the fresh out of the theater review, I gave it a 7 to 7.5, which is still good. It's not. I liked this movie. I wanted to love it, but I just didn't. And it
Hmm.
mainly for me came down to pacing. So I guess that's where I'll start.
Yeah.
The for me, like I said in the first out of the theater review, the pacing was all over the place in this for me. I thought like they really rushed to bring some of the people. They rushed to bring the teams together, and then, it's in the Suicide Squad. They say don't get attached, but like they bring them in, and then like almost immediately kill off. Like the first team, I know they were meant to be like the cannon fodder
Sure.
Suicide Squad team, but I feel like they
Yeah.
killed him off too early. Like Boomerang, like Captain Boomerang. I thought he could have survived at least a little bit longer in this movie. I feel like
Yeah.
they killed him off way too early. When we find out that Weasel wasn't dead, so I liked that.
Yeah.
Another thing too was, but going back to the pacing, there were a few plot points in the movie that I felt like they were rushing to get towards. Um, Mainly just like everything that has to do with the island. I feel like they were just rushing through it in some
Hmm.
parts. Which is the pacing is like my only complaint with the movie. For me, I felt like all the jokes landed for me because I felt like the majority of the theater was busting out laughing at every joke that I laughed at, which to me is
Yeah.
good. Um, John Cena in this movie was fantastic. I don't know his acting chops in any of his other movies because I didn't see anything else he was in. Everyone thought he was pretty shit, I think, in Fast 9. But everything in Fast 9 was shit from what I heard. But anyway,
Yeah.
Peacemaker was a great character, and John Cena did really well. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She is Harley Quinn. She's perfect. She's the definition of perfect casting. So I don't know if anyone else could have done a better Harley Quinn than her, especially in this movie. Um,
Yeah.
like I guess I'll just go down the cast list here. Rick Flag was pretty good. He's basically the same character as he was in the other one, except he's not as big of a douche. King Shark was one of my favorite characters, even though he didn't really say much. He was just sort of like a big dopey walking shark, you know. But
Yeah.
I do. That is another, I guess, another point that I agree with somebody who had a problem with this movie. They said that King Shark didn't have much of anything to do. Might have been Jeremy Johns who said it, but somebody I agreed with somebody who said it was either Jeremy Johns or somebody else's review. They said that King Shark really didn't do anything in this movie. They said
Hmm.
he just walked around, ripped one guy apart, ate one guy, and then bit another dude's head off. And then he planted one bomb, but all other than that, all he did was just walk around and bite a small area on Starro, and that's all he did in the movie. Which
Yeah.
I agree. They could have wrote him to do a lot more, but I mean, for his character, I feel like he was kind of the comic relief, and for the comic relief character, he did what he was supposed to. But going down to my two, well, Idris Elba with Bloodsport was to me was a better Deadshot than Deadshot. But Will Smith's Deadshot wasn't bad, but I think Idris Elba's Bloodsport was better in my opinion. But Going down to my two favorite characters in this movie, Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher 2. Polka Dot Man, like, I understand that that's another thing that people said in this movie, that he barely did anything too, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with, because he helped them plant bombs. He killed a guard. He destroyed a guard tower with his polka dots. He killed two guards with his polka dots, and he did take out one of Starro's legs. It didn't grow back, despite what some other reviewers were saying about it, because they showed a shot where he was being attacked by the rats later on in the movie, and his leg was still missing, and it got him off balance. So, and he couldn't attack anything really. So, I mean, he did help, and to me, he was just a really likable character. He was written really well. And Ratcatcher too, like, she, in my opinion, if anyone, she would probably be, other than Harley Quinn, she would probably be the one of the main protagonists, other than, like, obviously Idris Elba and everyone else on the team. Like, one of the ones the story mainly focused on, because we got more of her backstory than anyone else in this movie. And I think because of that, we were able to connect with her more, and it made her more of a likable character. That, and like, not to sound weird, but I think the actress is pretty good looking too.
Okay.
Not, but
Yeah. I get where you're coming from.
yeah, the action in the movie was really good too. A lot of gory, bloody kills, and liked a lot of the scenery. During Harley Quinn's escape sequence, though, I don't understand what all the stylization was about, but it's whatever. But I mean, yeah. Well, all that said, it's a pretty good movie. Like I said, I liked it. I really liked it. I just didn't love it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun, and I knew that going in, but I think I'm the same way with you. I wanted to love it, but I didn't think I liked it as much as I was hoping. But I'll say, in this one, I liked all the characters from the Suicide Squad. And the other one I had problems with, Killer Croc, because he was crap. But these ones I like. But I really think Captain Boomerang, I think they did him dirty. I really do. I think he should have lasted a lot longer than, 15, 20 minutes, if even that. But as you heard from mine, I gave it an 8. And I said at first that King Shark was my favorite character. But thinking about it and everything, I think I have changed my character. I mean, I like King Shark and everything, but
Is it Peacemaker?
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, Sylvester. Oh, who is it?
So, Peacemaker, I have 2, actually.
Oh, okay. What were you saying about Sylvester Stallone?
I wouldn't have picked him to voice King Shark.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't have crossed my mind. And I think the point of me why I liked King Shark when it came out, because I was relating him more to the Harley Quinn animated show.
Yeah, he's
better.
Yeah, he's awesome in that Harley Quinn animated show.
Yeah, I think I was picturing that one to this one, and it just didn't work out as well. I mean, I didn't hate King Shark because I did like him. He was good. It's just, I think Sylvester Stallone shouldn't have been the person.
Well, I think what your main thing might be is that in the Harley Quinn show, he's smarter. Like, he can actually say full sentences, but in this, he just says like 1 or 2 word lines.
I mean, they treated like he's like really dumb, and he's not. That's his thing. But I think, it's Peacemaker and Bloodsport are my 2 favorite characters. They both, John Cena, like you said, did fantastic in this. I've always actually dug his movies like The Marine and 12 Rounds. I know those weren't critically acclaimed films, but I always dug him in those. But I'm just been proud of what he has become. Like, I mean, he has been a better actor than he ever was. Yeah. I haven't seen Fast 9, so I can't tell you if he's bad or good or what he is. But this movie, he rocked it. He was funny. His action was great. And I also, what I dig about it, why I like Bloodsport too, is the chemistry they had together, because they were at each other's heads for right when they first met, they were at each other's heads. Like whenever they were taking out all those guards, or kind of the guards,
Yeah.
if you could say,
The ones where you
um,
mean the ones where we found out they were the freedom fighters?
helping them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but like they're like them going at it was just great. Um, but I totally agree with you with Bloodsport. He is a way better Deadshot than Deadshot. I mean, don't get me wrong. Will Smith did a fantastic job. He just, like you said before, after the movie, it was just what he was dealt with wasn't great.
Yeah.
But Harley Quinn, yeah, is great as always. You couldn't pick anyone else better for her. But Rick Flag in this one is a complete. I think they fucked him up bad. I didn't think he was really good at this at all.
Well, didn't we mention in our out of the theater review that we felt they neutered him a little bit? I thought we did.
Either it was in that or we talked after about it, I think.
Well,
I know they did him bad.
Yeah, because remember we talked about we felt like in the Suicide Squad he yes, like I was saying in part of the review, he was a dick, but he was more badass. But in this one he was still kind of badass, but he was also like I don't know, he was kind of he was kind of a pussy a little bit.
Kind of.
You know?
He kind of was he was just there. Like he just seemed like I'm gonna follow you guys. I'm gonna do what you're doing.
Yeah, he didn't really do much, did he?
Yeah, no. Only good thing I think he had was his fight there at the end with Peacemaker. That was a pretty good fight. I mean, those guys actually they did good. But Polka Dot Man was a big surprise because I mean I've seen the character from I think he was in one of the animated series like Batman, I think. I had no idea going in what he does, but he was really cool. Let's see, Ratcatcher, yeah, she was really cool, and I like that her dad was played by what's his name?
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought I heard from John Campea that he was going to be in it. So
really cool. I had no idea until I saw it.
Yeah, but I do get you with your pace problems because I didn't like how it just from the very beginning we're right at it. Like they did not waste time. I mean, I feel like we should have got a little bit more. Definitely a Michael Rooker. All those people.
And one thing I will say about that though is that's one of the things that a lot of people like about the movie is that they go immediately into the action, that they don't waste time. Which for me, like you were saying, that to me that adds to the pacing problem because you're rushing immediately into something and not like explaining stuff.
And they're more or less because they're getting right into it, but then they're going to have to slow down middle of the movie, pick it up again, slow it down again, pick it up, go and all that. Which just I don't know. I do like sometimes when things get right into it and not like wait 40 minutes before we get into anything. But I really think they should have gave us a little bit more to care about. I mean, we are like Captain Boomerang and all that, but like the other ones, like the dude where his arms attached, like I didn't even know who that was, and I could care less.
He's actually, I think in this movie he's called like DDK or something, but in the comics he's actually like a really small character that really has no bearing on anything. So DDK as like a name for a character isn't even like in the comics at all. He's just based off of like a small character that they barely used.
I did like Weasel, and I'm glad they kept him alive there.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good. But I think Michael Rooker should have stuck around a little bit longer, just a little bit. But Viola Davis as I can never remember her character's name. What's Viola Davis's character?
What's her name? Oh,
What is it? Oh man.
um, what? Amanda Waller.
There you go, Amanda Waller. She was great. She was great in the first one, and she's great in this one. She shows herself as really being a big asshole, and I think that's the point of her character.
Yeah,
A big ass.
that's what I really like about her character.
Yeah, but I did like her. That one random girl, like hitting her with that. I don't know what she hit her with, but knocked her out. I kind of thought that was funny. That was really unexpected. I didn't expect her to get. Starro, what did you think about him?
Starro, I felt like they could have done more with him because in the comic books, like he's like this big intergalactic, like they call him, like his name is Starro the Conqueror. He's like this like big like force that goes to planets and overtakes them and makes them like because every time he takes over people's bodies, he grows bigger, and I just feel like they could have done more with him.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was better than the
Enchantress.
whatever Enchantress. Yeah, I definitely thought he was better than her.
Yeah,
but more or less what I've heard, Starro is just a big kaiju, which is really that's all he is.
Yeah,
but I thought he was good for what it was. But this movie is a lot of fun. And I think there is a thing, though, I saw that is good. They use that R rating, they used it to its extreme. And I'm glad they used it. Because some movies, like, oh, it's all rated R, but, like, you're like, what's this rated R for? But this, you see it's rated R for a reason. And I wonder, like, because you remember whenever we were there, those people that was on your side just left. I still want to know about
they left, like towards the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like did they get offended or?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they just had to leave, but I don't know why you would just leave like when the movie barely just started after paying like $12 for a ticket for IMAX.
Yeah, I just wonder if this movie will offend anyone, just because they don't know what violence, like all the violence that they're going into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people. You know how people get offended easily these days. But, I mean, if you read the reviews, they say it's violent, and it is. And what you were saying about the humor was really good. I was really surprised, actually, how, funny this movie really was. But, yeah, I still think I'd give it an 8. But Peacemaker and Bloodsport are my new favorite characters. And I can't wait for that Peacemaker show. I really think that Peacemaker show has high possibility of being something really good.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I guess like that's probably where you think we should probably end the review, right?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and move some stuff around here. And speaking of that, we're going to move on to some more Peacemaker and James Gunn news that we have. And starting off with that, with the next main topic is sorry about that. I read this. The Peacemaker show is set to connect with more DCEU projects beyond the Suicide Squad. One thing I saw whenever I was looking through these and like reading them so I know what to talk about with them, I didn't realize that the show was written and is going to be directed by James Gunn, which I thought was really cool. But what I did see though is that James Gunn isn't directing every episode. He's directing like 4 or 5 episodes, but he wrote all the episodes. But let's see. Does it say what kind of projects it's going to connect to, or just that it's connecting to other projects?
I don't think they've said because I think they want to make it a surprise.
This article says that there's potential for the series to reference past films like Man of Steel or Birds of Prey, and that it could also set up announced projects like The Flash and Batgirl, or even tease an unannounced Suicide Squad sequel, a new Harley Quinn project, or one of the other Suicide Squad spin-offs Gunn has teased could come. And then now fans have to wait until 2022. I can see it setting up The Flash, considering The Flash comes out after it, because doesn't The Flash come out in 2022?
Yes, it does. Or it's 2023. No, it's 2022.
Is it? Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, it's filming this year, so I would expect it to come out next year. Probably like maybe I think like maybe August or September.
Mm-hmm. I definitely see it tying into The Flash in some way, some form. I mean, I'm not big on what Peacemaker, other than this. Like, I don't know is like if he's ever encountered anybody else. But I could definitely see him in that Flash universe. It just seems like he would fit in more in that Flash universe or something. But I really think what it's more or less meaning it's going to set up Suicide Squad 2, because there's no way James Gunn don't make another one. I really think it's more or less going to set up Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
Has to. But did we want to say the end credits scene that more or less tied up?
Oh yeah, we never did. So during the movie of the Suicide Squad, Bloodsport and John Cena shoot at each other, but Bloodsport ends up getting the better of him and shoots and like basically they said he nicked the neck. He didn't shoot him in the neck, and he was bleeding a lot, but he apparently survived that, and he's in a hospital recovering, and that's what one of the post-credit scenes is. But that's I mean, bullshit or not, it was pretty cool to see him still alive, because we were wondering after he was shot, like how they were gonna do the show, if it was just gonna be a prequel. But he survived getting shot, which I mean, sure is bullshit, but I was pretty happy with because he was a good character.
Yeah, because if it had been a prequel,
no interest.
I don't think I would really care, because it's like you already know what's gonna happen. So like, what's your point in even giving a crap?
Yeah.
But since they did that, I'm really wanting to know, because it's got two of the guys that was working with guy and girl, right? They're working with Waller.
Yeah.
Are using him to, she said, to save the world, whatever that means. I don't know what that entails, but that was one of them. I don't know if you would call the other one an end credit scene or mid credit scene. That's what I've heard it go by, but I really call it just something that's after the film, and it's really just one of those fun things. But
yeah.
But I know we got more Peacemaker news to go on too.
Yeah. It's that the Peacemaker show is going to be set in the past and the present. Now, the article doesn't say anything in particular, so there's really no point in me scrolling down and talking about it, because the article doesn't say anything worth noting. But I'm thinking that what they mean by past and present is that they've already cast who his father is. I forgot who they cast that, but it's like a well-known actor, and they've cast Peacemaker's father for the series. So obviously the past means they're gonna show some of his like his upbringing, and basically make maybe a whole episode devoted to his past, and basically make like a prequel episode. And then the present obviously is probably gonna be like what they referenced at the end of Suicide Squad, him saving the fucking world or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
really think that's what it is. It's more or less like the past would just be maybe learning how he became Peacemaker, and then I'm thinking it's gonna be like the first episode, or like flashback sequences, not just one devoted episode, like flashback sequences. Maybe not. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I think it'd be really interesting to find out more about his past. Because I like I said, I don't know anything about Peacemaker. I just know I like him a lot. Um, so any more, I guess, information we can get about Peacemaker just makes it all much better.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, at this point, like coming out of Suicide Squad, there we just showed you there was a ton of Peacemaker news, especially in regards to the show. And it looks like the show probably will be a big thing for the DCEU because it'll, like it said, it ties into a bunch of different projects and stuff like that. So we'll try to keep you updated if there's any more news on the show. All
All I
right.
know
Yep.
is
Yeah.
comes out 2022, 8 episodes on HBO Max. So I guess are we going to be probably watching it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that should be a
Yeah.
show we might need to get together to watch every week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think maybe we could do like after the episode, give our quick thoughts, maybe
Oh
something like
yeah, you
that. I
mean
don't know.
like a after the show thoughts or whatever episode sort of thing like we do at the theater one.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Peacemaker episode 1 quick thoughts be the title.
Yeah, I think that'd be.
Nice.
I like
Okay.
that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right. And moving on to the next topic, it's still sort of related to this, but it's more actually James Gunn news. And during people interviewing him about Suicide Squad, he mentioned that he wants to make a Guardians of the Galaxy spin-off show for Disney Plus about the Ravagers. Now, for those of you who don't know or have been living under a rock or don't really pay attention to the Guardians, the Ravagers they're a huge group in the Guardians section of the Marvel Universe. Yondu was a member of a particular set of Ravagers because the Ravagers aren't only one particular group. They're a bunch of different groups that go by that go by Ravagers. Because
Yeah, because
isn't Sylvester Stallone a Ravager, but he's like a different group?
yep, it's there's Yondu's his group,
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone's group. Because it's remember end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, you see all the Ravengers because they come to Yondu's funeral.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, James Gunn wants to make a spin-off show dealing with all of the different Ravagers and I guess going through what they're doing. The thing with this is I don't know if they're too terribly interesting enough to make a show about. Like they're basically space pirates. And you know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they're interesting for the movie they're in, but to me that's only because they have the dynamic of messing with the Guardians. Because if the Guardians aren't in a Ravagers TV show all that much, I don't know how much interest I'll have in it. Because for me the whole appeal of these Disney Plus Marvel shows is that it includes established heroes that we already know. I'm sure the Ravagers show would probably have the Guardians in it in some capacity, but I guarantee you it wouldn't have the Guardians in every episode. In which case, I don't know how much I would care about the other episodes just about space pirates. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did they ever say if this is like right after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 or if
What
this is
the Ravagers show?
Yeah.
Nothing's even happened with it yet. He just said he wants to do one.
Okay. So I mean, if it would maybe take place like before Yondu dies, I could care a lot because Yondu the better.
Yeah.
More Yondu the better.
True.
Because Yondu is one of my top favorite characters in the MCU. He was one of my I'd say top 5 in the top 5. I think I would actually dig this show a lot because I like all that. What's what I like about Guardians is all that in that space and all the galaxy. I like all that intergalactic stuff. I don't know what it is. I just dig that stuff a lot. But I think this show could be really cool just to see other stuff out there. But I do think the Guardians would have to be in there somewhere. Because if you don't have them, I mean, they have to. Definitely Chris Pratt has to. But I don't know if they make this show. I wouldn't complain at all. I'd be definitely looking forward to checking it out if they
Another
made it.
another aspect of this is that it would have James Gunn doing like everything with it, so it would stay true to what it's
Can't go
supposed to
wrong.
be. So
And,
it
and you
would
can't go wrong.
he would probably make it interesting. So I do got to give him that.
Yeah. And you can't go wrong with James Gunn. I mean, definitely also Sean Gunn would be back at it as his character, which his character's pretty good. I like his character. I can't remember what his name is, but I just remember him. But Sean Gunn, I mean, is good. James Gunn can do it, so why not? Why don't they let him try it and see how it goes?
All right, and we're going to move on to the next main topic, and that is we got a new Venom trailer. And according to CNN, they say it's gory. It's not really that gory, but
Really.
what were your thoughts on it?
I told you I was going to avoid this trailer, but I saw the trailer when we saw Suicide
Yeah,
Squad,
you didn't
so
have a choice.
more or less, yeah, I was stuck. But I really dug this trailer a lot. More Carnage, and that's what I like. Carnage, I think, is going to be awesome in this movie. He looks really comic book accurate, point on, actually. But this might actually be better than the first one. I really think. I really do.
Oh yeah,
What do you think?
yeah. I think it probably will be mainly because Carnage and like Venom by himself is cool and everything.
Mhm.
But to me, like the symbiotes in the first movie, other than Venom, just weren't interesting that much to me. Like the villain in the first movie was really forgettable, and so was the symbiote. But I think in this movie, like Carnage, he's definitely not forgettable. Carnage and Cletus Cassidy, it's like Carnage is like the perfect villain in the Marvel universe, especially for someone like Venom, who's considered an anti-hero. And this trailer like basically showed how he got Venom. He bit Eddie Brock's hand and drank his blood, which obviously had Venom had symbiotes infused with it. And we saw all of that, and like I was telling you after we saw the trailer in the theater that I don't know why you were avoiding the trailer because it didn't really like give off anything. Excuse the dog barking. It didn't really give off anything or give anything
Yeah.
away other than what it needed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know because my trailer policy. Usually, it's one trailer and that's about it. But yeah, they really didn't because a lot of it, I noticed, some of it was just reused shots from the first trailer. Not a lot of it, but some of it was. But more or less, I think this one was like more to pump up the Carnage, like more Carnage. And he even had his shirt, like that shirt he always wore in the comics.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he always. Um, but do you think Woody Harrelson can do it? Do you think he's gonna be
Oh,
good?
I think like whenever everybody was talking about there being a Venom movie, everybody was wanting Carnage in the first movie, because you heard about that, right? Everybody was
Yeah,
clamoring for Carnage in the first movie, and everyone was like, no, what they're probably going to do is set up Carnage in the post-credit scene and have him for the second one, which obviously happened.
that's what they
And
did. Yep.
from what I remember, the fan casting for Carnage, everyone was saying Woody Harrelson. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the fan casting for Venom and him was Woody Harrelson. So I think, like from what it's looking like, it was perfect casting, and I think he's gonna kill it.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you think this is going to be R rated, or are you going to go with PG-13?
I want it to be R rated because of Carnage, but I think it's gonna be PG-13.
Yeah, I want R rated, but I'm not going to get my hopes up because I don't think it's going to be. All I know is this movie's probably going to make a shit ton of money, just like the first one did. I really think it's going to make a lot.
I do
of
have
money.
one thing though. It will be PG-13, I think, but because of Carnage, and I think the director and everybody else knows how Carnage needs to be, it'll probably be like a heavy PG-13. Like it'll probably be a
Yeah, like
PG.
that.
It'll probably be a
On the brink.
PG-13 that really pushes the
It's
line.
like, yeah, like on the brink of
Yeah.
on the brink of R. But if they do an R rating, I'm not going to be complaining. I would be totally down for an R-rated Venom movie.
Yeah, me too.
But I guess I think that probably would be it with Venom. I mean, we only have what? Is it next couple months? Next month?
September, yeah, next month.
September.
September. What is it, September like 25th or something?
22nd, 25th?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I really think that's probably going to be almost all of Venom news until probably the reviews come out.
Yeah.
But how was your hype level for this movie? Where are you at about it?
Right now I'll probably put it at about maybe like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I'm probably about the same point. I don't want to get my too hopes up like I did with Suicide Squad. I think that's what some of what it was. I heard those reviews and I went in with those thoughts going into it, hoping for it, and I don't think it fully achieved that. But yeah, I think it's about 7 or 8 for me too. So I guess probably when the reviews come out, I guess the next time we'll talk about Venom, I would think.
All right. And do you want to introduce the next few topics?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. Here's the next one for you.
All right, moving on to the next topic. Halloween Ends is going to be start filming here next January, said by James Jude Courtney. I can't remember where he confirmed this, but I know he did.
It says during a recent panel at Flashback Weekend in Chicago.
Yeah, so he has confirmed that it will be filming in January, which I think is the perfect time to film it, because that way Halloween Kills will already be out in theaters and it's made its money, so they can know what people are thinking and if they need to change anything, which I don't think they will, but I think this one could be really good too. But how do you think? You think Halloween Ends might be the actual end, or you think there's going to be more to go off of it later, or how do you think they're going to run with
I
that?
think Halloween Ends is probably going to be the last one, because you can't. I don't feel like they can really keep it up forever. I understand you want Laurie Strode as long as possible, but I mean the character's been around for like almost 50 years now. You know what I mean? In 7 years, it'll be 50 years, because it was 1978. And in 6 years, 1978 will be 50 years ago. So Halloween will be half a will be a what is it? Half of a it will be a what is it? What's 100 years? Let's see, a generation. Is it a generation?
Yeah.
Because a millennium is 1,000.
Yeah, so it's generation.
It'll be half a generation old, which is insane for a movie franchise. Like, I mean, Star Wars is 50 years old almost, because they were 77, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when
but
you
the
look,
thing is,
yeah,
for it being almost 50 years old, it's a movie that still holds up to this day. Like, it never grows old. Like, it still holds up as a solid movie. You got to say that. A lot of movies, older they get, people are like, man, I understand why did I like this? But you got to say this one, for it being 1978, still holds up as a horror classic.
yeah.
But I don't know. I really think actually Laurie Strode's going to go in Halloween Kills. I'm making it right now. I really think she's going to die in Halloween Kills. I think so. I guess we'll find out in a couple months, but I think Laurie Strode bites the dust in Halloween Kills. I really do.
I think in Halloween Kills, they'll probably do something where they kill each other. I think, because I think if that happens, I think Michael Myers has to die too. Because I wouldn't like it if he killed her and he was still alive. I don't know if I'd like that.
That was the original for the Halloween 2018. That was originally how it was supposed to end.
I'm wondering if they might just push that back to the last one in the trilogy. Because
Yeah,
that,
they
to me,
might.
that would make sense to me, though. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Um, I don't know. I feel like they could throw a twist in there, but I do agree. I think as much as I love this franchise and everything, I think it's time for it to end. And let's just not reboot it. We don't need another reboot. We've already seen that once, and you already know the thoughts.
All right. And we're going to move on to the next topic here. And here it is.
So moving on to the next topic, Kevin Smith teases return to movies, which I think is awesome. Did we even talk about Kevin Smith announcing Clerks 3? I can't
I
remember.
think we did one time whenever we were talking about something else. But what surprised me about this is that not only is it just like him teasing movies, this is actually just basically this is a full on announcement that they're filming. Like they're like what when was this posted? It doesn't say. Um, they he basically
No.
confirmed that they're filming Clerks 3 right now.
Yeah.
Because if you
Which,
look at this right here, like there's a full on like cast chair for Rosario Dawson, and
yep.
they're at a movies. So like he's confirming that they're filming Clerks 3 right now, which is crazy because it wasn't like until just like I think a month or 2 months ago where we talked about how they only like they just did like I think he just finished the script for the third one,
Yeah.
and now they're
I
already
mean,
filming. I just think that's a crazy turnaround.
how long have we been wanting Clerks 3? It's been a
Ever since
while.
we saw
We
Clerks
didn't,
2, and then we saw that
yeah.
I think he was or what we saw that he was doing Jay and Silent Bob reboot instead
Mhm.
of Clerks 3 cuz I think we also wanted a
Yeah.
Mallrats 2, but we didn't
Yeah,
get
we did.
but I think didn't I could have swore whenever we heard he was making Jay and Silent Bob reboot, he said he wasn't doing Clerks 3. I thought he said that.
He did say that. So I don't know what changed his mind, but he did say that. But I'm glad he changed his mind because if we're gonna have all the clerks gang at it again, I'll be looking forward to that because the first clerks, at first I didn't like it, but after I've watched it since I've gotten older,
It's
I think it is
funny.
amazing.
It's
It's
so
fucking
funny.
amazing. And the second one, even though the second one gets really bad reviews, I think it is.
I think the
I think
second
it is.
one's better than the first one, but that's just me personally.
I like the first one, but the second one it's a good sequel. But if we're gonna have, I assume we're having. Oh, what's well, you said Rosario Dawson's character, but what about the other two? I'm dropping their blank. I'm not supposed to be working today. What's his name?
Randall?
Yeah, Randall and
Wait, I'm
um,
not supposed to be working today. Oh, you mean fucking Dante. There's Dante and Randall.
Dante.
Randall's the slacker and Dante's the dude with the black hair and the mustache.
Yeah. So I mean, if they're both coming back, that's gonna be great. Cause I think they have to.
Well, in this it says Rosario. It says Rosario and Brian O'Halloran, and Brian O'Halloran is Dante.
Dante. Uh, but I feel like Randall's got to be there though.
No, he
I
is.
mean, I don't think it's
Also, look here. In the thing, he says it was magical seeing Dante, Randall, Becky, Elias, and Jay and Silent Bob reunited.
Elias.
And it was at the same site where we did the first movies pop up outside of LA last fall. Days 1, 2, and 3 of our shoot have resulted in some sensational scenes, so he's hoping day 4 keeps the streak going. So they're more than 4 days into shooting.
No. That definitely got me excited to see Elias and everybody back. So I'm sure we'll have more Clerks 3 news coming down the pipe eventually. But yeah, I'm glad to see they're actually at it, and can't wait to see when that movie comes out.
All right. And moving on to the next topic, we're actually going to be talking a little bit about the box office for not only this past weekend, which I mean the weekend we're in right now, but also last week. To get started off, though, this is just a little bit about what happened. The Suicide Squad's opening numbers have come out, and from what they're saying, it's underwhelming. Which me and you talked about, we fully expected. 26.5 million debut. We talked about it mainly because we know with the Delta variant going around, a lot of people don't want to go out to the theater. But then also HBO Max is really fucking up box office for movies.
Yeah.
Another thing is Jungle Cruise dropped 55% to 15.7 million in its second weekend, which isn't as big as Black Widow's drop, but 55% is a pretty big drop nonetheless.
Yeah.
But regardless, what are your thoughts about the Suicide Squad's opening?
I don't know. I had a feeling HBO Max is going to cause problems because it has been causing problems for a while with like Godzilla versus Kong. Not as much with that one, but all the movies that seem like they go on there, like the theaters, just get the shit in of the stick.
Yeah,
because everyone's just staying at home, and I understand that. But I mean, I don't know. I just think the whole. Because I had an ad on my phone when I was on YouTube earlier, and it said for Black Widow, do the where you pay that premium thing. It's like, fuck no, I'm not gonna pay $30 to watch it when you go to the theater and pay what, $6? I mean, I know some people don't feel comfortable, but it's just I can't see paying overpriced to watch a movie on a TV when you need to see those movies on the big screen to get the full effect. Because you got to say, when we saw Suicide Squad, we saw it in IMAX, and that was a really cool experience. Yeah. Since it actually fits the whole screen, so it's that cool experience. But and then with Jungle Cruise, it's on Disney Plus too, where you do that premiere access, right? It's just so stupid. I mean, would you do that? Would you pay $30?
No.
Plus your subscription?
No, because I'm going to the movie theater to watch it.
Because, I mean, what's that? A subscription, I think $8.99 or $7.99. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then you got to pay $30 extra to watch it.
$30. Just, that is insane. But do you know if they are planning on doing this for a while? Or,
I'm not sure. I was watching the John Campea show the other day, and he mentioned that before Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, got in, it was a Bob Iger, and during Bob Iger's time at Disney, they didn't have this Premium Plus stuff. So John Campea thinks that Bob Chapek is destroying Disney from the inside out, which I wholeheartedly agree. Like this Premium Plus bullshit is stupid, and they need to get rid of it because it's really destroying their their box office revenue. Because like even I think like other than Scarlett Johansson, I think. I don't know if we brought up last week. I think we did that. Emma Stone is thinking about suing him for Cruella, and then also the movie theater owners or whatever, like their association is blaming Disney Plus and the Premium Plus stuff for Black Widow's box office woes. So I mean, not to go on another tangent about streaming services and whatnot because we're talking about the box office, but still,
it's just a rant.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap that up there and move on to last week's box office. And last week before Suicide Squad came out, Jungle Cruise was the top with $35 million. That opened in 4,300 theaters, and it made a total gross of $35,018,731. Old came in second place, and it was the previous week's number one. It dropped almost 60%, made $6.8 million. The Green Knight, which is another movie that I want to see, it came out to almost 6.8, which is really good for a movie that not a whole lot of people were really talking about. Black Widow is still hanging in there. It's still in the top 5, made another 6.4 million but it dropped 44.3%, which, I mean, it's been going for, it's in its fourth week. I thought that's been out longer than that, but I guess not. And then rounding out the top 5 is a movie called Stillwater, which I haven't heard of. But
it's a Matt Damon movie.
Oh yeah. So that's rounding out the top 5, and then you can see below that 6 is Space Jam, 7 Snake Eyes, 8 is Fast Saga, 9 is Escape Room, and 10 is Boss Baby. So yeah, that's what's going on there.
I do want to see that Green Knight. I thought the trailer looked pretty decent. I'm glad that, because I really wouldn't call that a big mainstream movie, would you?
No, I wouldn't. No,
I wouldn't. So that's pretty good for it to finish in the top 3 at least. I think me and you will have to see that one sometime. See how that one is.
Oh yeah, definitely we will. All right, and we are going to move on to our next topic here, which is actually coincidentally our last topic, if you can believe that. It's only been about an hour, and we're already to our last topic. So we're moving through this pretty nicely. Last topic here is the Stranger Things Season 4 sneak peek. Was actually just released 2 days ago. It gave a few quick glimpses at some footage from Season 4, and it teases a return in 2022. Now, I'm assuming in 2022 means probably like July of 2022, because I think that's usually when these seasons come out, is the summer of whatever year they're supposed to come out. So we still have basically like a whole nother year to wait for this to come out. Which, I mean, they've been teasing Season 4 for like 3 years now, it feels like.
It's been a while.
I know the pandemic's made things hard, but like we got that Hopper tease in Russia or whatever back in 2019.
Yeah.
If you can believe that. So it's been 2 years since we got the Hopper tease. And it's just like, I feel like this is, I don't know, I feel like this is taking a while to come out, but like just from some of these like screenshots they're showing on screen here, I don't remember a whole lot of what was in the trailer because it went by so fast that I couldn't even point it out. There were some cool shots in there. I saw they had some callbacks to the previous seasons, but in this screenshot they're showing on screen right now, like you see a lot of the, like obviously a lot of the main kids and stuff, how actually grown up they are now, because I mean Season 1 came out 6 years ago, 2015 I think. And we're only in Season 4, so that means they're releasing a new season about every 2 years, which makes sense. But you see all the characters there. You see you see Dustin, Nancy, Max. I forgot what the kid on the right's name is. Yeah, I know. Oh man, that sucks. And then you got the girl that worked with what's his name? The dude on the left. I feel bad for not remembering this. I haven't seen Stranger Things in like 2 years.
Is that the girl that worked at the?
Yeah, it's the girl that worked at the at Baskin Robbins. Yeah.
Yeah. She was also in that Fear Street, the first one. She dies.
Who? This girl right here?
Yeah.
Wait, so both of them were in Fear Street?
Yep.
I guess that makes sense. Probably because of Stranger Things, I'll bet.
Yeah. But what are your high hopes for this season? You think it'll be any good?
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be good. From what we know, I think, didn't the creators of Stranger Things say that they want Season 5 to be the last one?
Yeah, they did. Which I'm alright with.
They want Season 5 to be the last one, so I'm assuming what they're going to do for Season 4 is they're going to make a lot, they're going to like get the ball rolling towards the end of the show, and I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they'll kill off some big characters. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know if they'll kill off any of the kids. Maybe they'll kill off like Nancy or something, but I don't know.
No way.
They have to do something. What are they going to do?
I don't know. I just don't see him killing off. Is Steve still on there? That's his name, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, Steve. He's the one on the far left.
Yeah. He's the one I could see them maybe, just maybe. But I don't know. I don't even know how the show could end. I don't, because I feel like no matter what, how they're going to end it, it's somehow going to tease another season if they wanted it to. I
Yeah, I can see
mean,
that.
out of all the 3 seasons, which one did you like more?
Um, I think
I
I
like that
like
third one.
is the which is the one where Hopper died. That was 3, right? The last one.
Three. Yep.
I don't know. For me, it's between 3 and 1. Like 2 wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I just liked 1 and 3 more. So
I like
I'd
three.
say probably 3. Yeah, because that's the most recent one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was good. So, I mean, we'll see how it turns out in 2022. I'm sure it'll turn out fine. But I remember we went on a rant about it. Like they said, like they were going to do more, I guess, 11 backstory or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, which, if they do, I know me and you highly could care less about that. But I guess we'll see how it turns out in 2022. But I'm just glad to see Dustin because Dustin's my favorite character. So, more Dustin, the better.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I have a favorite character. I just like them all, I guess, equally.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see because you've talked about Dustin a lot when anytime we've talked about Stranger Things. So
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be another good season because I think all the seasons are good. It'll be another highly rated. It'll be the most talked about
It's that
show.
good.
What's that?
It's that good. It's that good, like, what, 80s and 90s vibe to it, which is really good because I love the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So it gives that good vibe. That's always a fun show to watch.
Yeah, and I guess is there anything else you want to add? I don't think there is really.
I don't think so. I mean, are we still seeing Snake Eyes later?
Yeah, we're seeing Snake Eyes at 4:30 tonight. I think that's what time it was.
Yes, sir. Yes, 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30,
So
and we'll have a out of the theater for that one for you.
I
Unless
know,
you
I know
just want to, as soon as we get out of the theater, instead of doing a fresh out of the theater, just doing our full review and uploading that as a separate video.
Yeah, let's do that. I
Because
think that'd be cool.
I'm going into it with my own thought or with a clear thought, but there will be something in the back of my mind, like in regards to the reviews that have come out for it. So.
Yeah, I know you're on that fence.
Yeah, I'm on the fence right now because those reviews were brutal, man.
Yeah, my question is for you. G.I. Joe, do you like G.I. Joe, or is that just kind of like not your thing? Like, you don't like that stuff?
I mean, it was there when we grew up. I just never really watched it.
I always kind of liked it as a kid. Did you see the movies at all? The G.I. Joe, Rose of Cobra, and Retaliation? Did you see those?
Those movies came out like almost 20 years ago. I don't remember. Like 2003.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Are you sure? Because I am pretty positive it was.
No way. Oh, is it? It can't be.
G.I. Joe live action movie.
Please don't pull up.
Oh, 2009? Oh, I didn't realize it was that. Yeah. Oh, development for the first film in 2001 is Rise of Cobra the first one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that was what, 2009? Yeah, I don't think I actually saw this. I was already I think by that time I had no interest in G.I. Joe because, like, you know, at that point I had no interest in G.I. Joe because of how old I was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had I saw both of them, and I liked them a lot. I thought they were really good. I haven't seen them in a long time, but Snake Eyes was always my favorite character. I don't know what it is. I've always just loved the Snake Eyes character. I always liked him and his rivalry with Storm Shadow. I think Storm Shadow.
The white one?
Might be wrong. Yeah. I've always liked his rivalry with him. But I have heard the reviews, and yeah, they're rough. So I don't know. I'm gonna go in like you with my own opinion, but I think those bad reviews are gonna be there, and no matter what, you can't get away from the bad reviews.
Yeah.
They're there. So but I guess what the thing is, turn off your brain and just go in with your own thoughts. We'll see how it turns out. The trailers, I thought they looked decent, but I think that's what the problem was because I think people liked the trailer, so they expected that and they didn't get it. So I guess we'll see. I think it might be all right.
Yeah, I think it might be all right too. We'll just have to wait until we go in and see it. All
Yep.
right. And I think that's pretty much it for this episode of the Media Unrestricted podcast. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like, leave a comment below with your thoughts on any of the topics we talked about, and give us a subscribe and hit the bell if you would. That would help us out tremendously. Anything
Yeah,
else you want to
definitely.
say?
If anyone else has seen Suicide Squad, if you have your thoughts, please let us know because I love to hear everybody else's opinion on that movie because I've seen other people on Facebook like they like it and some think it was just all right. So I mean, everyone's opinion. I'd love to hear if anyone's got it. Just say it in the comments. I'd love to hear it.